So, hello there. Okay guys, this map rotations will happen in 60% of all of your Immortal games. So the first rotations will probably happen around the 6 to 7 minute mark, because at minute 5 the mid laner usually hits level 6 and at minute 6 the off laner usually hits level 6. So which tower will be pushed first? Which tower will be attacked first? Right, for the Dire it's this tower, and for the Radiant it's this tower. Okay, let's say one team turns out to be slightly ahead after Lightning stage. What they're going to do is they're going to push this tower first, because it's the easiest to kill. Okay guys, I know usually the mid tower is the most important objective, but it's just impossible to push it. So like this tower is easy to push because it's just so far away from any other towers. When you compare this to this, like the tower ranges just overlap and you cannot wrap behind this tower. Here's like the secret shop blocking it. Why here you can just wrap around the tower. And this is how pros push towers. They push out the wave here and then they wrap around and surround this tower. Listen guys, okay, pros do never just walk down the lane, okay? They always wrap around the tower. Because if you wrap around, the carry gets scared, he will probably TP out and you can just collapse on this tower. So if they try to TP some heroes into help, they will just chain feed if you collapse on the tower. So how does the team that is behind defend this tower? Right, they don't defend the tower, okay? What usually ends up happening is they will do the same on the other side of the map. They will surround the tower and then collapse on the tower as well. So how does the Dire defend the push from the Radiant right now? Right, they don't defend, okay? Because that's the clean and smooth thing about this rotation. The team that is behind can trade equal towers, and the Dire who is slightly ahead right now cannot defend this, because if they TP in they will just chain feed, okay? So if you're just one of these typical supports who just TP in to this tower, die and then blame your team for not defending it, then you're probably below 4k and you really don't know that you should give up this tower. Okay, let's say the Dire has already a gold advantage of like 5k at the 8 minute mark and they really think they want to defend the safe lane tower. How do they defend the tower then? It's simple, they bring 3 heroes from this side, 2 from here, and they collapse here. This is how you defend your safe lane tower in high MMR pubs. If you don't bring enough heroes and if you don't collapse right at this spot, then you're probably gonna lose the tower as well. So at this time the map opens up. This means the map is not any longer parted by the river, but this right now is the safe part for the Dire. Because they push the tower, they get 2 additional creep camps right here, and in return the Radiant also push the tower, so they get this additional 2 creep camps as map control. So both teams now have about equal space to farm. And now it's getting spicy. So what you do now is not running down mid, okay? It's just not running down mid. The team that is ahead will probably try to go for an attack on the mid tower. How do you push the mid tower? The condition for pushing the mid tower is you push in Borden first. And by pushing in Borden, what you accomplish is that you move the safe part of the map. Just by pushing this in, all of a sudden the safe area of your team increases. And what you want to do after you pushed in Borden, you're gonna go here and push in here. What this creates is that the Dire can hold this ward position, wrap around the tower. Like I said before, it's always about surrounding towers and collapsing on towers, it's never just walking down lanes. And the other team will probably do something similar. They also will push in this. They will try to hold this top half of the area, and they will also try to push in this mid wave. This is the point that will decide the game, and this is why it's so important that you defend your mid tower at this game. Okay, listen guys, whoever pushes the mid tower first will get the entire control about the map and is free to do whatever they want afterwards, okay? Because let's say the Dire pushed these 2 towers already, and the Radiant only pushed this tower. It means that the map from now on is divided like this. This is the safe side for the Radiant, and this is the safe side for the Dire. The Dire can always safely push in these 2 waves, okay? And they will always make people respond. They will always get information on where the Radiant is. And this gives the Dire so many options what they can do right now. The Radiant only got this safe area, this high ground left to farm. So I'm gonna give you some quick examples of what the Dire can do right now. What the Dire usually does in this scenario is farming this side of the map, pushing in mid, pushing in bottom. And then after they pushed in the waves, they're going for a quick smoke, invading the safest area of the enemy and getting kills for free. Like it puts your enemy on the dish, you know. Second option, you push in bottom wave, you push in mid wave, and you go to Roshan, and you're gonna force them to commit for Roshan. As long as you just stay in the pit and don't walk up this tiny little high ground, which is unsafe area, you're gonna force them to commit into your hands. They're gonna run into the pit and you kill them right there, and you're gonna get Roshan afterwards. Third option, if the Radiant is very smart and good enough, they're going to try to hold this area. Like I said before, they're gonna push in top, and every time they push in top, the safe area increases by a slightly bit. And if the Radiant has good players, like Immortal players for example, they will always try to like hold this hill. And what the Dire can do now is they can like push in bottom, push in mid, smoke, and collapse here, and they're gonna get some pickoffs for free. And now we are just left with option number 4. They push in bottom, they push in mid, and then they just wrap around the tower, surround the tower, and just push the tier 2. This is most likely very time consuming to push the tier 2, so you're gonna need a push hero for that, like Beastmaster, Morphling Trowel or something like that, because it's really gonna take a lot of time to push this tier 2. And what the Radiant can do then is just pushing in this wave, and all people of the Dire are busy pushing this tower. And like pushing this tier 2 becomes a little bit risky, because you're then giving up on this side of the map. So now that you know the basic concept about playing the map, you're maybe going to try out this and maybe try to play around it a little bit. Like for example, some pro teams play around this concept a little bit, and they are picking like unkillable carry heroes like Morphling, Lifestealer, Juggernaut into the safe lane, when the other team just has a very weak offlaner like Enigma who just committed Black Hole. Then they can hold the safe lane tower for a very long time, and the moment the enemies try to push then the safe lane tower, they already push the mid tower, you know what I mean? Like there's some ways you can play around this. But I hope I gave you a basic idea on how Immortal players play the map, and see you in the next one. Peace.